What's up guys, Chris back with another Dragon Ball Super video, and today we're going to be going over a variant of Shroom Salsa that I've been testing, and I find this variant to be probably one of the better ones. I think this one, I'm going to do a few more tuning testing, but I think this may be a pretty close to the variation that I would run in a locals or any form of tournament here. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the deck list. I'll leave a deck list down below as well, so you guys can check that out. So you guys can see all the cards in their entirety. So Shroom Salsa is a league that came out in set 12. So far, hasn't really been getting a lot of play, but I just think it's because people haven't had a ton of time to test with it. People are kind of nervous. Playing a black deck that doesn't have any form of counterplays when other colors like green have Frieza and blue has Trunks. It is kind of nerve-wracking, but with some of the stuff that came out in set 12, black is getting into a place where having a mid-range sort of type of deck for black is possible, and it's not going to be completely trash. So Shroom's whole idea is when most of your cards swing or they have effects, you get to warp cards from your opponent's drop area, or remove cards from your opponent's drop area, so your opponent can no longer interact with their drop area, which is good because you get to remove overwhelm, you get to remove drop area mechanics, and you get to remove sparking effects as well. So there's actually a lot of different benefits to doing this. So with Shroom, when you swing, you draw, and then if you combo with a black card, a black battle card. And this is on your opponent's turn too. So when this card's in battle, you can combo with the black battle card, and you get to warp a battle card from your opponent's drop area. Then, if your opponent does not have any battle cards in the drop area, you get to draw an extra card. So the whole idea is you warping battle cards. You can't warp extra cards, but most decks are not running more than maybe 4 to 5 extra cards generally, depending on the deck. So you're not really got to worry about that. So even if they have those cards in the drop area, that's fine. You can just warp all their battle cards. Now you awaken at 4 life, or if your opponent has 4 more battle cards, 4 more cards in the warp. So if they warp cards, it also gives you the effect as well. So you're restand 1, draw 1. On this side, same thing. You draw. You can combo with a black battle card during this card's battle phase and warp a battle card. And then if they have no battle cards in the drop area, you get to warp. Then you get to draw 1. And then you have an activate main for 1 energy. Choose a if there are no battle cards in your opponent's drop area, choose up to 1 black evil wizard, demon realm race, or demon god card with energy cost of 2 or less from your deck or hand and play it. And then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So if they have no more battle cards in the drop, you can play a 2-drop for 1 energy, which is very, very strong. So in this variation, we run a small Towa engine. So we have 4 of the dimensional Convokers. This is your main piece to have on the board. It searches top 5 for Evil Wizard, Demon Realm Race, or Demon God. And then you can activate for 1, you can play out a skill list from your drop or your deck. It's a 15k skill list. So we run 4 of these. We want to see this turn 1. It's very, very strong turn 1. You have Towa Secret Maneuver. This came out of set 10, I believe. And this card here, when it's played or when it attacks, you search top 5 for a Demon Realm Race, which is almost your entire deck. So when you play this off of whatever, a skill or whatever, it comes into play, you get to search top 5. You don't get to attack then and then search top 5. It's only once per turn. But you can still play it, search top 5, and which then allows you to go into the Dark Sorceress Towa, which is the promo that came out of set 10's premium pack. Card was never really good. No one really had a reason to play it, because you had to pay 2 energy to play this out and then pay another 1 to play this. It just didn't feel really good. But there's ways you can play out this card for free or for 1 energy from your leader ability and then play this. So it's a 20k deflect. You pay for 1 energy to evolve on top of off of a Towa, which is an energy cost of 2. Then you get to draw a card and then shuffle 4 battle cards from your opponent's drop area back into their deck. So it doesn't go to the warp, but it does remove them from the drop area. So if your opponent, they dumped a ton of cards because they're trying not to give you, the drop area advantage, you can drop one of these, warp 4. If you have another one, you can play it, warp 4 more. And it's just a 20k body, which is pretty effective in this meta, just being able to swing at almost every Unison in the game. And you can pressure your opponent's leader for easy damage. So that's what we have for Towa. Skills package, we have 3 of each of the new demon gods. So 3 Salsa and 3 Shroom. I'm bouncing back between playing 3 or 4. Currently, with how the deck works, for space-wise, 3 is fine. We're going to see it, and then once we see them, they're in the drop area or whatever, we're going to be able to just constantly recycle them back. So the idea is you play this off of your Towa, play it out, swing, and then you tap 1 to play out one of the new Demon God 5-drops. I had to use some proxies for these because out of 3 boxes, I only pulled 1 of these, so I haven't gotten my other ones in the mail yet. So I've seen people, when they talk about this deck, they say this card's really bad, and I don't see why. If you're playing this type of style of deck, these cards are just insane. So they both have the effect of when they swing, you warp a battle card from your opponent's drop area, and then they have an additional effect if there's no battle cards. So Shroom, when he swings, he warps a battle card from the drop, and then if there's no more battle cards, he warps a battle card on your opponent's board. So that's pretty strong. So you have board removal and drop removal for 1 energy. And that 1 energy, I forgot to mention, whenever you cast this, you swap your skillless out. So it doesn't have to be Shroom to play out Shroom. It could be the Salsa one. It doesn't matter. But for 1 energy from this, you play out a skillless, swing with it for 15, and then tap 1, play this card out in active mode, and then add that skillless back to your hand. And then if you haven't swung with your leader yet, you can combo the skillless off to do another warp, and then to draw a card if your opponent doesn't have any battle cards in the drop area. Salsa is the tempo creator though. When you swing with this card, you warp. Then if your opponent has no battle cards in the drop area, you get to play out a 2-drop skillless. I mean a 2-drop card from your drop area, right? Yeah. Hand or drop. So you get to play out a 2-drop Demon Realm Race, Demon God, or Evil Wizard from your drop or your hand. So you can, play out a skillless, swap into Salsa, swing, warp a card. If they don't have any cards in there, you could play out this Towa. Play it out, search top 5, draw 1 basically, and then play this on top of it, then draw another one. Now you have a 20k body on board. Or you can play out another skillless, basically, and then if you have another Salsa, you can pay another energy to play out another Salsa and then do the same thing. So you can really wreak havoc on your opponent. You have lots of ways to remove cards from the drop area, so it should never really be a problem. So I think 3 and 3 is kind of the split currently. If I end up changing some stuff in the future, I'll obviously post a video about it. We do run the Diabolical Unison, Dimensional Meddler. It's not a very good turn 1 play because it doesn't plus unless you're comboing. So the auto is whenever you combo with the black battle card, this card gets 5k for the turn and gets a marker added to it. So this is really good on defense. So if your opponent swings at your leader, because for whatever reason they don't want to swing at Unison, you can combo with a black battle card, and then you basically give it a sensu bean for the turn, and then it gains a marker. The -0 is you get to warp a black battle card. You get to warp a battle card from your opponent's drop. So it's just an extra warp. The -4 is really good. You get to play out 2 Demon Realm Race, Evil Wizard, or Demon God cards with different card names, energy cost of 2 from your deck or your drop. So you can play it out for 4. Combo with the card, give it 5k, so it becomes 15k. So now you can pressure your opponent's leader, swing, -4, and then play out two cards. It could be any Demon Realm Race cards. Now the one card I don't have in this deck currently because I just don't have them right now is Maki-Kabura. Which Maki-Kabura would be a great card to put in this deck because you can play it out almost off of every ability. And that card is insane, being able to shut down stuff. But yeah, so we run 3 Unisons currently. I don't think you need to run 4. 2 of the Majin Buu draws. I was going to try and run the apes in this deck, and I think I still may just throw it in here, but I don't know. This card I feel is pretty awesome. So it's a 1-drop. When it's in the drop area, you pay 1, you warp it. At the end of your turn, you pitch a card and then draw 2. So it allows you to fill your drop area up. It allows you to filter through stuff. You get your skills in the drop area, and then use this just to draw 2 cards. We have the King Summon. This deck preferably doesn't really need this card as much as some other variations of Shroom Salsa. It's a two drop. You pitch it to the drop area. You burn a life to the drop, and then you warp a battle card from your opponent's drop area, and then you play out two battle cards with either Evil Wizard, Demon Realm, or Demon God. It's basically the same thing as the Unison, but you just can't play Makigaburo cards off of it. So it's Self-Awakening. Allows you to get an uninteractable warp. So your opponent cannot interact with it, so it just allows you to warp stuff, and then you can play out your 2-drops. So obviously you've already seen most of the 2-drops with the Towa, the Skillless, everything else like that. But here are some of the tech options that we run. Run 1 of each chain attack, Poutine and Gravy, and then I run 2 of the Demi-Grasse Thrall Gravy. This card, when it comes in, when it attacks or used in a combo, you get to put cards. You get to put 2 cards from your drop. From your warp back into your drop. So you can recycle for Overwhelm. Poutine and Gravy both have an ability when they're removed by a skill, your opponent warps a battle card from the drop. And then when you combo with a Evil Wizard, Demon God, or Demon Realm race, Gravy allows you to draw an extra card, and Poutine gives it 5k. So if you combo with this card, hypothetically, and you have both of these on the field, so this card becomes a 10k combo, and you get to draw a card off of it, and your leader gets to draw a card if your opponent does have any battle cards in the warp or in the drop, and then this card puts cards back into the drop. There's a lot of mechanics that you can do. You can run any copies of any of these. It's really up to you and how you feel. I just currently just running 1-1, and through testing I may find that these are better, or that I would cut these completely. But 1-1's fine. It's a very, very small package. This is really the only cards that we want to interact with this stuff. So it's just kind of there. It's not the big point of the deck. So we get into the spice. So we have the Demon God Demi-Grasse Destroyer of History. So this is an Overwhelm 4 where you can pay 1 energy as an auto. When this card, when you pay the effect, when the card's played by Overwhelm, you activate this ability. At the end of your turn, you pitch a card. Or actually, is it currently? If you have 3 more energy, so if you have 3 more energy and you choose to discard a card, at the end of your turn, you get to play out a 5-drop Demi-Grasse from your hand or your deck, and then shuffle. I think, right? Shuffle? Yeah, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. The best target for this would be the Draftbox Demi-Grasse. I only had 1, and I sold it to buy some other cards, so I don't have it anymore. But there still are some good 5-drops that you can use in exchange for it. So, 2 that we decided to run. 1 is going to be the Sinister Sorcerer. This came out of set 10, I believe. This is a really cool card. So it's an Overwhelm 5, but the effect does not trigger off of being played by Overwhelm. So it can be played off of this and just sit on the board. So it's a 20k body. When this card attacks, the opponent warps a card from their hand, and then if it's a battle card, they get the combo with it. So it's a good way of cycling out extra cards when this card attacks. So if they decide to Dormant Potential or do whatever, and they drop a card from their hand anyway, so they're losing 2 cards, and then this card forces them to lose another one. Even if they negate the attack, the auto still goes through. They have to warp a card. So that's really strong. If it is a combo piece, like a super combo or something, and if there's a chance of you getting to draw a card, you do get to draw a card. But that doesn't always happen. But yeah, so we run 2 of these, and then I run 1 Forced Interruption Demi-Grasse. No one's probably played this card ever. It came out of the expansion, the special anniversary box, like forever ago. So it's a 30k triple strike. It says if your leader's a Demon Realm, if your leader's a Demon God, and if you have 15 or more black battle cards in the warp, which is pretty. I mean, it's possible in this deck. We do run some Overwhelm. Choose all your opponent's battle cards. Ignoring barrier, and combo with them in your combo area. So the idea is you use this, you play this card off of it, and now you have this bomb on board that's just waiting, and your opponent has to deal with this card. If they don't deal with this, their next turn is going to be very, very brutal. So it is a 30k triple strike regardless. But if you do have more than 15 battle cards, black battle cards in the warp, when this card swings, even if they negate it, they do whatever, this auto still goes through, and then you get to combo with their entire board, ignoring barrier, which is rough for some decks, especially decks who run a lot of barrier cards just to keep a wide board. You just get the combo with the entire thing. So we run one of it. It's just an extra win condition. We can put it down for 1 energy, and then our opponent's it's just gonna sit there until our opponent decides to deal with it. Then these two, like I said, these are really good. It's nice whenever you have one of these on the board, you can swing with it and then overwhelm a second one. Since this one's already going to be out being played by this, so then you can overwhelm a second one, then you can have 2 forms of hand destruction on there, at least for a turn. But yeah, just a cool little tech. I decided just to add in, just to try to make the deck a little bit different. 2 Deborah because it's searchable. Having a counterplay in the deck though is still really good. Something that gets around deflect also is great. So when they play Xenocell, you slap this down for 2. Yeah, they get to rip 3 cards from your hand, but then the card can't attack, can't be used in combos, and loses all of its skills for the turn. So it can't do any dual attack, quad strike crap. So we run 2 of those. Also, this is considered a 2-drop if all of your energy is black. If it's in your hand or your drop area. So technically you can play it out from your leader ability if you want to play a 15k card, basically a 15k vanilla to swing with, because the negating effect only happens on your opponent's turn. So if it happened just overall, it'd be great. For super combos, currently I run a split of the just the draw 4 and then the Bibbities. Probably will end up going 4 Bibbities because the deck does draw a lot. And since this card is searchable off of almost every card that you play, having Evil Wizard is just better. So I think in the future I'll run 4 of these and just cut this completely, just run 4 of these. But I wanted to show just some variety of what you guys can run. 1 Demonic Absorption. I think the 3-drop extra cards are going to come back that remove barrier. I think every deck should run at least 1 of these because it's never dead, because it also acts as a 5k combo if you want to activate battle. So it's never a dead card, unlike some other extra cards. So there's 1 of these for every color that just removes barrier. They're all 3-drops. Barrier is becoming very significant in a lot of matchups, so being able to remove barrier is honestly one of the best things you can do. Power bursts, 4 power bursts. No protection for people in the main deck. If I were to take this to a tournament, I probably would find a way to fit it in the main board or just side the protection to people's in. But Power Burst is fine. You get to pull back 1 drops from the drop or the warp. One of the boss monsters is going to be the Dark Mask King. I only have 2. I think 3 is kind of the number you want to run. So you can play it out for 4 if your opponent has more than 3 battle cards or 3 cards in the warp. 3 battle cards? 3 more cards in the warp. So basically you can play this on turn 4. It has deflect, a triple strike, 25k. When this card swings, your opponent warps 2 you get to choose 2 battle cards in your opponent's drop area to warp, and then if your opponent has more than 10 or more cards in the warp, you get the restand. If your opponent activates a counter skill during this card's battle, they burn a life to the warp. Very, very strong. Obviously the TP promo is much stronger, but I don't think you have a way of cheating that card out. I think you have to pay 5 for that. So this is, it's good. It's a 4-drop deflect card that opponent has to deal with. So if they're not green, they're gonna end up taking triple strike, or they're gonna end up burning a life. Mirror Champa combo. Since we're gonna be warping some cards, just really solid to have. Turn 5, you can go into, even turn 6, you can go into this. Swing with this, probably restand it, swing again, and then play this with this combo. Just this combo is always going to be good until they decide to nerf it or something. I don't think they would ever do that. And then the other 2 secret rares, Supreme Kai for defense, Fu for turn 6 if you want to shut everything off. Just gives you different options. This card also, when it comes down, for 1, your opponent cannot attack with unisons and leaders, which is great. And then you can pay another 1 to warp your opponent's unison and their entire board, not ignoring barrier, but still pretty good. And then Fu just turns off everything for your turn and your opponent's turn, so they can't super combo, they can't negate, they can't use extra cards or whatever. So still very, 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 very good to drop this card on 6. So that's what we have. so far for this Shroom Salsa deck. Like I said, I'll leave a deck description down below so you guys can check it out. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.